Hey everyone, I'm back and today we're going to be talking about Due Date, and this movie is directed by Todd Phillips and it stars Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis. I think I pronounced that correctly. And I really did not enjoy this movie one bit. I thought it was incredibly dated and trying to be The Hangover again, but completely failing as to what made that movie work somewhat. And I'm just going to get this out of the way. Todd Phillips, as a director, there are some movies that I kind of like. I've only seen two. I've seen The Hangover and I've seen Joker. Joker, I think, is good, and I think it's very well made overall. And The Hangover, it had its moments. I don't think it's great by any means, but it was at least somewhat fun to watch, and there were some good performances in it. And that's what kind of kept me going in that movie, and I had no idea what was going to happen at the very least. And that is a lot more than I can say for this movie, where it's a road trip movie, but it's so predictable in where it's going to go, and the comedy is just embarrassing. I laughed like one time, and it was when Zach Galifianakis was basically just being bullied. And it got one laugh out of me, and that was it. The rest of it was just either cringe, or I just was very annoyed by the characters. And I'm going to get into the characters right now, and they're all very unlikable. There's like nothing to like about them, and when the movie tries to get you to like them, it's just the most obvious way like you could possibly do it. It's like, you know what, we've been through a lot. This is the point where we start to bond and become good friends. And at a certain point in the movie, I have to wonder, what do you guys like about hanging out with each other? It's like, I don't feel as though you genuinely like being near each other, especially with Robert Downey Jr.'s character. And he's just annoyed by everything around him, and he basically starts an argument with everyone, and everything just goes wrong for him, and the whole movie, he's just screwing everything up, and he doesn't really have an arc. Well, they try to give him an arc, but it just feels so forced, and I just can't get behind it. And this movie has a lot of songs for the soundtrack that are just like supposed to be really popular with like people in high school. When I was younger, like I was going to high school when this movie came out. I didn't see it in theaters, but while I was watching it, I could definitely see a lot of these songs being played at like a high school dance. And that's what I kind of felt like. It was aiming for like 17-year-olds who are in high school and just wanted a dumb comedy. And that's fine and all, but unfortunately that kind of makes the movie dated, unfortunately, and because of that, there isn't really anything that I really liked about it. The only thing I liked about it was like when it got to the very end, and not because the movie was over, but like right before the credits, there's like a little bit of, there's something that happens that I thought was kind of funny, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of, that was kind of somewhat well done. And the rest of the movie was just really annoying and forced to me. And this movie does the classic have our two main characters be opposites, where Robert Downey Jr. is he's rich and he can do whatever he wants, and Zach Galifianakis, he's kind of poor and just is an idiot and just wanders around and does a lot of stupid things and almost gets Robert Downey Jr.'s character killed at points. And while this movie does have a cast that I kind of like, unfortunately they just didn't bring anything to it. Like, Robert Downey Jr. is like, why did you pick him for this movie? What did he bring to this film? Like, you could have picked anybody and you would have had the exact same performance. And I just am confused as to why you picked him. And Zach Galifianakis, I guess he was the most appropriate character for this role. Not saying I liked him, but he kind of fits. And Jamie Foxx, he has nothing to do in this movie. He's just there for like 2 scenes and then he leaves and you never see him again. Like everyone else, it doesn't really bring anything to it, so it just leaves me wondering, why'd you get Jamie Foxx for this role? And that's about all I have to say about Due Date. It's terrible. Don't watch it. It was a complete waste of time, in my opinion, and I got nothing out of it. And the comedy isn't funny. The characters are incredibly unlikable, and the music is terrible, and the soundtrack choices are bad, and the performances they don't bring anything to it, and the plot is stupid, and at least you have the excuse that in a comedy things don't have to make sense in order to have a joke, but in this movie, since there's nothing for me to like about it, I can't help but criticize this movie for being incredibly stupid. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Due Date a 1 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Due Date, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Titanic, a movie that I've seen already, that I know for sure that I like, and I am just sick to death of watching movies that I don't like, that I've never seen before, and I have not reviewed a good movie in over a week. I've been reviewing nothing but trash, and it's time to break it up by watching a movie that I know for sure that I like, and that's what I'm doing now. But until I get that up, thank you for watching, and have a great day.